What up, y'all? Coming up with a quick video for y'all. Um, Sitting there, got a new little scenery here. Some of my artwork on the back. Some stuff I did, me sitting at my desk. So I want to talk about some surprise moves I could see the Packers making in the future. Definitely not this year because we do not have any salary cap to do anything. So I can definitely see the Packers making these kind of moves in the future, uh, coming up next season. Because again, that window is closing for Rodgers, and we need to take advantage of these. I say maybe 3 more years we have of him. So the first move I see is them not bringing back David Bakhtiari. I do not think we're going to pay him all that money that he demands. I don't think Goot will. Um, I honestly think that we can draft, bring in more players, um, for the amount of money that we're paying him. I mean, we still have holes on the defensive side of the ball that we need to shore up. And who's to say that we're going to give an offensive lineman that kind of money? I understand it's um, to protect Rodgers' blind side, but to me, if you honestly look back last year, um, to me it was probably one of his worst years because he was getting beat off the ball a lot. Um, he had a lot of holding calls. Um, that side was really getting held down by Elton Jenkins, which was an excellent draft pick. So that I honestly trust Goot to make another draft pick instead of just throwing all that money out there. So I honestly don't think that they are going to give Bakhtiari this money that everybody think he's going to he got coming. I know they say he all pro and everything, but again, last year I didn't really see that all pro um, in him. He was getting beat a lot on that side of the ball, which actually is one of the weakest side of the ball. The other side was held down by Bulaga. To me, had a better year than he did. So I'm gonna say that they let Bakhtiari walk. Um, Number two move, and this is pretty. This gonna be something that I might get um, heckled about or whatever, and people might talk shit about. But I honestly don't think that the Packers pay Kenny Clark the outrageous money. I think that they give him 16, maybe 15 million, but when you got free agents like Chris Jones in Kansas City, you got a lot of free agents that are coming up, and you see that the move Kansas City just made. So you have a lot of wiggle room to sign speed people and bring in some really strong defensive talent. You got a name like Teron, the Honey Badger. Um, you got a lot of people that are going to be free agents next year that, I don't think that they offer him a humongous contract. Like, he's not going to break the bank. I do think we would sign him. I don't think that we give him, outrageous money, $100 million contract, nothing like that. So I think if he becomes greedy, if he wants more than what the Packers offer him, we're not going to keep him. Because again, we have so many core pieces, and a lot of times I don't like players have one or two good seasons and, um, you know, they feel like they need to break the bank now. They need to demand all this money. You know what I'm saying? Um, Another one I'm throwing out there is the Packers possibly going after somebody like Odell Beckham, um, going after a big time wide receiver, really shoring up a number two spot behind Devontae. Not even if not Odell, um, somebody, making a splash. Um, Again, they have so many pending contracts to worry about. Kevin King, Aaron Jones, Bakhtiari. Again, I think Bakhtiari is going to be that casualty. I think that the Packers can actually find someone or mold somebody. Bakhtiari won really a big name in college. And again, we always have, I think only one we took first was Bulaga. And he paid off until, again, he demanded that money and he got to go. and that's the name of the business. I do think we find a way to sign Aaron Jones. If Kevin King holds up, I think we're going to offer people minimum contracts because again, with Rodgers cap hit, um, with Rodgers cap hit, I don't see us trading him unless somebody give us like all seven of their picks or they seven first round picks for 10 years or something. Seven first round picks for 7 years, something like that. That's different. But I don't see us losing Rodgers for at least 3 years. Because I think it's like a 50 million this year, 40 or 30 something next year. That's a lot of money, to bring in a rookie who hasn't proven anything yet. So again, we don't know what AJ Dillon, if this season is postponed or anything, that's going to make a lot of difference too with re-signing players. Because if you have rookies, again, that's more time for them to learn, but it's not more time for them to get up to NFL speed, and you got to actually get in games to get the NFL speed, stuff like that. Um, Other than that, like I said, I could see Goot, making some splashes next year. People say that the Packers' window is closing this year. I honestly think as long as we have Rodgers, we still have a shot. Um, the big questions are that run defense, and having that extra money next year to shore up that side of the ball. I think the offense has never been a problem with the Packers. Never. It's always been the defense. Look at last year, and I don't think, honestly, giving a lineman that much money makes a difference. When you prove to yourself that you can draft, you draft Elton Jenkins. I think that guy is going to be a stud for the next 3-4 years. That rookie contract play out, then he might get his money too. But I honestly don't see David Bakhtiari being here next year. It's unfortunate. And you got to think about it. If we got rid of players like Greg Jennings, if we got rid of players um, like Bulaga and stuff like that, I see Goot sacrificing to make the overall team stronger. Um, we got to see how the person we got from the Lions, I can't think of his name right now, holds up in Bulaga's spot. But I think that again, the Packers are gonna like get the ball out quicker. Um, are gonna do a lot of stuff where you don't really get pressure on Rodgers, and that's one thing that LaFleur did is he got the ball out of Rodgers' hands more, rather than like with McCarthy. McCarthy wanted to wait to let the play develop, and Rodgers was holding on to the ball more. So you don't want to do that. So again, like I said, I think he's a casualty. I think Bakhtiari is a casualty. I think we try to sign Clark, but we don't give him this outrageous number one lineman money. I don't think we give him a deal like Aaron Donald, no 120 million, not like that. 17, 18, 16 maybe, against the cap a year. That's cool with me. But anything in the 20s or something like that, that's outrageous. And, just for him, he's not an all pro there. And again, you got people like Chris Jones, who's in that same spot, who is an all pro, who is worth a 20 million. I don't honestly think Kenny Clark is worth the 20 million. You understand? You got to understand that doing that could put your team in jeopardy, and if you kind of look back at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl team, a lot of people weren't getting paid top of the hill money. Get what I'm saying? So, and the only thing is like Patrick Mahomes was only getting like 850,000. So, like I said, man, it's gonna be some prizes next year. Maybe they prove me wrong, maybe they don't. We'll see. Um, but other than that, man, definitely comment, definitely like, definitely subscribe if you're new. Let me know who you think gonna last, who they might bring in. I know I threw Odell Beckham in there. Might not ever happen, but we can all dream. You know what I'm saying? I think, um, you know, with a player like that or something, hey, sky's the limit, man, with this team. But we need to really um, start playing checkers instead of chess right now. We got to start making like some bold moves, man, because this window is closing. And again, with Jordan Love, we're gonna have to definitely that's gonna be a 5, 6 year step. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna come in and just light the world on fire like Patrick Mahomes. I don't think so. You know, but Patrick Mahomes had a lot of studs around him, so I'm tired of people kind of comparing the two. You know, but again, man, we gotta see, man. We gotta see uh, what Goot does. He gonna either put the team in a hole, or he's going to sacrifice now to uh, I don't think offensive line is our weakness. I think defensive running linebacker is our weakness. And I heard some names like Bobby Wagner. I heard some names. Who knows? You might can lure like a Keekly out of retirement. You never know, man. But if you put all your chips, if you put all your chips on on one or two players, you're gonna damage the team, man. You're gonna damage the team, and that's something Aaron Rodgers didn't think of before he signed his contract. Because look at Tom Brady; he sacrificed a lot for that team, and that team got a lot farther by him sacrificing. So if you have stingy players on your team, understand that organization will get nowhere. Trust me. But other than that, man, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what's going on, man. Let me know what y'all think. If I hit on anything I might say pissed you off, let me know that too, man. So I'll let y'all later. Peace.